All right, welcome back for Game 3 of the day here between the New York Titans playing their first of the weekend and the Kansas City Stampede coming off a win against the Detroit Innovators. Winner will be guaranteed a spot in the quarterfinals. Loser will still have to play their way in. And on Brooms Up, it is Kansas City ball with Bludger Control, also with Kansas City. I'm Ethan Sturm. Noah Shorts will be giving you the call. He just got back to the booth, so I'll turn it over to him.
Yeah, and Kansas City's going to come around the outside here, and a little shot over there from number 10, and it's going to be no good. And Michael Yadaparada, number 9, the coach of this team, coach and captain, is going to have the ball coming up the field.
Of course, also coach of Team USA, who on this very site won gold in the Pan American Games just about a month ago.
And the New York Titans are going to come out here, look to trade beats right over there on the side of the field, on the near side of the field, and Yada's going to walk it back. Let his beaters work, and a nice little beat there from 52. It's going to be blocked by Michael Parada, and Taylor Crawford's going to take it. Lindsey Morella's going to take a shot. Molly Potter's not going to be able to chase it down. The ball's going to get turned over. We're going to see a call here from the refs. Looks like a clean block to you, Ethan?
Yeah, I didn't see much. I think it might have been the call in the beater game. Yeah, we've seen this two-male beater set of Tyler Walker and Devin Lee a decent amount here from New York this season with mixed results. A bit of a slow start there. Riley Andrews really getting the better of them from Kansas City, though I think they did end up with Bludger Control, though not much of an offensive possession.
So, what are the two teams going to come out looking to do? We've obviously got a two-male beater set from New York with talented chasers like Lindsey Morella and Molly Potter, allowing them to go to the two-male beater set. Yeah.
Kansas City wants to keep games low scoring with slow possessions, with tough defense, physical defense. They are not a scoring real threat. By far the least profit points per game of any team at this tournament. They just want to keep scores low. A lot of 40-point games from them as the season went through. But they should be able to get more. I mean, Adam Heald, the old Kansas keeper, always a threat. And Rachel Heald, his sister and the team's coach, Team USA currently, also always dangerous.
And we see Rachel get the reset here for the team after ending up behind the hoops with no help. And also Kansas City in two-male beater set. Nice little point defense there from Taylor Crawford. Good play by Devin Lee to get the ball turned over. Molly Potter's going to scoop it up, and it's going to give it back to New York.
Taylor Crawford, never an elite offensive threat in all of his years playing for top teams in New York, but an elite point defender.
And Yada's looking to probe. He's going to make a little pass behind the hoops to nobody. It might have been a shot, and Molly Potter unable to chase it down, getting cleaned up here. So that tough defense already being shown from Kansas City.
For sure, yeah, that's what this team is built on. They are stout, and not just because they have Aaron Stout on their team defensively.
But and Adam Heald's going to take the ball up. We're also going to see a little ball carry from Rachel here, I can assume. She does it for Team USA quite a bit.
Yeah, and High Win, also in the game, also an old name from those Kansas.
And Yada looking to speed things up here. Heald with a nice grab of the arm, able to strip the ball. So, yeah, not quite physical to stop him, but was able to pull the arm back. And a big tackle there in the beater game as Morella picks up the loose ball. Looking for Molly across the hoop. She's able to find it, and the shot goes high, but Taylor Crawford is there. And another nice stop before he's able to slam it through.
I like the effort there from High Win to go up there with Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
Almost got the stop.
A nice heads-up play from Morella, who was able to make things happen with Molly Potter in support. Talented female chasers here on New York and on
Yeah, there was so much
City.
talent in the female chaser game in those two-male beater sets, but neither one was working it that well. Now New York has switched the standard. Kansas City's going to stay in this two-male look. Win is in the lane, and he just gets stripped by Crawford. We talked about how tough Crawford is to get by.
And we're going to look for a break here.
Yeah, Mohagog is probably going to score this one, no problem.
And is able to put it through.
But yeah, with the fact that you have Win and both Healds that can all ball handle on the field, you should never be taking on Crawford at point. It just doesn't make sense. I was talking to a top ball carrier pretty recently, and they're like, I have a list of like 5 people that I don't want to have as my point defender, and Taylor Crawford's one of them.
Yeah, another great point defense there from Taylor. And Morella looking on the fast break. She's got options. She takes it herself. Very quickly, 30-0 Titans.
And that's just a failure of scouting on Kansas City's part, right? You have to know what you're up against with a player like Crawford.
And it would be easy for them to change the point of attack here.
Yeah, you could pass, you could use a screen, you could do anything. You have Rachel Heald, she can ball handle. Just swing it over to her.
And at the worst, if Crawford rotates over, you're forcing him to move around and expend some energy and attack at weird angles defensively.
Shooter's going to shoot star Austin Pitts now ball handling.
Missed tackle there by Morello. It's going to open up the lane, and Kansas City's going to put it through.
Look how easy that was. All Pitts had to do was throw a little horizontal pass to not have to go through Taylor Crawford, and Morello couldn't pick up the slack in the defense.
Found a better matchup, attacked it, and was able to execute behind the defense. And now Parada's going to come up with the ball.
Pitts is not an athletic threat, but he is one of their smarter players, and it was a good idea to go to him at this moment.
Crawford's going to have it on the wing and swing it back up top to Morello. She's going to take her turn ball carry.
This New York team loves to work Morello way up top, but a lot of times leaves her out of the offense.
And Mohagog with a nice little move there. There's a nice spin. Pitts with the strip, or was a pass to Taylor Crawford. Oh, a nice little... that was a great drive and dish there from Mohagog.
Yeah, beautiful little behind the back look. Showing off there for the fans. 4-1 now in favor of the Titans.
And what in this split beater set, oftentimes Morello will be left unguarded with Hagog and Crawford as threats there, and that's why they like to work her up top, force a beater, draw a beater to, especially in a 2-beater set. It forces one of the beaters to play defense as basically as a chaser, as a man chaser. Now Kansas City up top with Woolsey. Pitt's going to take his turn at keeper, and the ball. He's going to look to drive. He's going to look to shoot. It's going to go over the top.
There was never a world where Austin Pitts wasn't taking that shot. It wasn't a good shot, but he was always taking it. The second he was in that lane, there was no doubt. Impressive. I don't know how we got a card there. Maybe an illegal swat. I think that's to be the call. That's another way you can just change the dynamic on Taylor Crawford being a point, is just beating him out of the game.
Yeah.
So this is a power play Kansas City has to capitalize on. I mean, they're a team that should just be miserable to be down a man on in the qualifier game, because
so many of them
cover
pass.
Rachel Hill, and you can't cover Rachel Hill at that point, and that becomes a huge problem for you.
The score is 40-10, New York. So far, they've looked really good. Mohagog has been great, getting to the hoops and dishing, and has half the team's points so far.
Yeah, I mean, and this team is deep too, as Austin Pitts is going to get the ball in a really friendly spot. I feel like that's not where he ended up.
And that's a beater in front of him, so she's not going to be able to interact. And just tosses it right at Yada, right at Parada there, who swats it down, and Morello's able to quickly clean up.
Yeah, Pitts need to find an angle on that middle hoop there.
Yeah, there's with a ball fake, a head fake, something, and New York's just going to look to kill this penalty here.
Which honestly I think Kansas City's fine with, right? We talked about them not being a high-scoring team. Hey, let's run another minute off the clock. Why not?
And Kansas City been able to keep bludger control for a while here, unable to use it to score, which can be a problem. You want your bludgers to be active. You want to have control, but you definitely want them to be active.
Jason Rosenberg now in the beater game along with Rachel Ayala Silver.
And a missed beat there from Kansas City is going to give Yada a chance to attack this.
Working on held. A block there by McAndrews gets some bludger control back, and now they might be able to run. There's no bludger there. Rosenberg's not going to be able to get that. A big missed beat on Yada, but it doesn't matter. Woolsey goes right through him.
Yeah, that great play there by Kansas City to be able to turn the tide. Now it's going to be 40-20. New York's still up, but Parada's got to make a better tackle there. Just has to one-on-one. Just has to make a better tackle.
I mean, also they could also just made a better beat on him. McClanahan had the free beat that would have sprung Woolsey, but yeah, once he wasn't sprung, Yada has to make that tackle.
Yeah. And now John Jackson subs in at keeper. He's going to most likely be the main ball carrier here.
Yeah, Crawford's still in the game. Hagag's still in the game. Parada likes to run kind of transition lines where a couple subs are made over the first possession and then a couple more on the second one. I'm sure we'll see that soon.
And a trade of beats.
And no bludgers, but bludger control stays with Kansas City.
And he's going to dish behind the hoops to Crawford, who's going to lean into it and find the hoop.
Yeah, Crawford scored that, but I would have liked Jackson to just score that.
Yeah, I think it was a weird choice to make the pass there with no bludgers.
Pitts can't quite beat the ball to the midline.
Lumbering around at the midline now. Hagag going to harass him a little bit. He's got his arm. He's locked up. He's going to need some help. Still on. Looked like Crawford was beat. He's going to get back into the action.
Hagag strips the ball from Pitts. But there's going to be a call.
Pitt's lucky there to get the call.
Yeah, it's a bit of an ugly play top to bottom from Pitts.
Another nice play by Hagag. Crawford going to look to get back into the play defensively. Really good really good harassment of the ball carrier from the chasing game. They're going to look to switch the point of attack now with Hield. She's a natural ball carrier and has done so plenty of times for Team USA.
Yeah, taking on her Team USA counterpart, Lindsay Morello.
She's going to whip it across, unable to find number 32. Hagag with the flick back.
Hagag really did the worst thing he could have done there.
Yeah, went right to the beater. Beater makes a nice play to put the ball back in Pitts' hands.
Oh, great
Pitts
give and go.
And gets stuffed there right in the middle by John Jackson, who's able to flip it away from the beater without the beater hitting him. He's got a free hoops.
Yeah. That was bad field awareness from Riley Andrews there.
Yeah.
He never saw Jackson coming. He was trying to get too cute with his bludger when all he had to do was stand over it and beat John Jackson.
Really big error there, making it 60-20 in New York.
But also, all-around good play from Jackson, stepping on that give and go fast enough. He closed in Pitts, didn't give him a free shot, and tracking that ball and scoring.
Never gave up on the play, able to force a turnover in a bad spot, or able to get a good rebound in a good spot.
Bludger control in New York. McClanahan was resting there for a second on his knees, but Rosenberg forces him to his feet. Molly Potter now the one guarding Rachel Hield.
Wrapped up, keeps her tight. Ball out to 12. She's going to throw the ball away.
Jackson is closing on the open option so quickly right now.
Really good field awareness. From Jackson. He's going to get the ball back here. Without beaters there, Kansas City's Chase are able to play a little bit higher. Yep. Beaters come back in the game.
Now we're starting to see the NYU line out of the Titans. So Janice Liu and Jeff Ebner were both beaters for the team that made the Final Four this year. Molly Potter was that team's coach, so she was already playing for Warriors. And Landon Garfinkel is also their leading scorer.
Ball's going to be swung behind the hoops by New York. He's going to look to attack at a different angle. Comes back to Jackson. He's going to whip it back up top. It looks like there's no beaters around. If he can make a move, he's going to find it. Nice little move there, able to put it through the top hoop.
Yeah, the thing a lot of college teams learned this season is Landon Garfinkel's a lot harder to get a hand on than he looks. He had a lot of no-budget drives for a small guy this season, and showed why there. He's just a quick guy with a quick moving hand.
And New York's handled two bludger sets from Kansas City really well.
Yeah.
They've been able to trade beats and force that beater step, and now Hield's going to have the ball. Shadowed by Potter, who's going to get beat out. She's going to look for a
Hield's
shot.
got to take the space here.
The dish out wide goes awry. It's going to break the play up a little bit, but it's going to be tracked down by Kansas City.
He's got a wide open Rachel Hield.
And Hield's able to corral that in, unable to finish it. John Jackson again at the hoops, really quick, really spry.
It's tough to overthrow Rachel Hield, but I'm pretty sure they did it right there.
It looked like the ball slipped out of her hand as she was taking the shot, but Jackson might have gotten there anyway.
Yeah, she timed her jump a little off too. I think the ball came with a little more backspin than she was expecting. I think she caught it on her way back down to the ground.
Yeah, sloppy passing. So John Jackson's going to pick up a card here. He's going to give Garfunkel the green headband.
He's actually giving it to Yanko. So Jackson picks up his first yellow card of the game. In MLQ, it is 3 yellow cards to red instead of 2, so no real danger of that yet.
Two open players for Kansas City here. They're just going to reset it and look to take their main advantage a little bit later in the possession.
We talked about how Kansas City should be so dangerous in these situations, and that's why. Nobody there to match up with Hield, and she just drives in the lane and hits the shot.
It's going to be 70-30. Still plenty of time in this game.
Hield in the lane is what I've wanted to see so much more of from Kansas City this season, and have not gotten to see any of it, basically.
And Kansas City's still with bludger control here. The two male set that we saw from New York is the line that I like so far, at least in terms of keeping bludger control. But they haven't really needed it. They've been good defensively. John Jackson's been great at the hoops, and offensively, the Chasers have been doing a really good job of drawing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge yellow card right here because basically they just scored, which means it's going to be another quaffle turnover. So it's immediately going to be Kansas City ball again. With a beater advantage, they can make this a 30-point game. Yep. So basically an immediate free possession for Kansas City here, and they have to score on this, and if they do, we are at 70-40. As much as we felt like New York's dominated this game, they're really not dominating on the scoreboard.
No, they're not. They haven't been able to run away with it. And Kansas City's pick has found some spots. And now they can't lose bludger control, and they're just going to go right at the hoop. 72 driving. The pass is going to be deflected by Jackson. It's going to be picked back up. He's got options here. 12 unable to corral, but gets it now, and Jackson makes a great tackle, strips the ball. Nobody around but Kansas City to pick it up.
That's actually a great play by her to just let the ball. I don't know if she did it on purpose, but to let the ball hit the ground. If
Jackson
she went down with it and Jackson on top of him, 100% it's a turnover.
Jackson might pick up his second card here.
Wow, so we're going to get back contact. That's going to be a second yellow for John Jackson, which now actually does put him in foul trouble.
Yeah, they're going to have to be careful.
Oh, you're hurt? So he's not picking up a foul. He was bleeding.
Well, you can't. Yeah, we're going to get him fixed up, and he'll be okay.
He's kind of been their biggest force, though, defensively this game, besides Crawford.
He has, and he's been the biggest reason that they haven't needed bludger control to maintain a lead.
Right.
No foul given, just a bleeding player.
But this is a much smaller team than they are without John Jackson defensively. New York's asking for the ball, but they definitely never had the ball at any point.
No.
The ball came out and was picked up by a Kansas City player.
Yeah.
Is exactly what happened.
And the ball is getting taken away from Kansas City right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, it should be Kansas City's ball here. 12 got it, picked up the pass. John Jackson tackled her. The ball popped out, and Kansas City grabbed it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's not our job to call the plays, just our job to announce them.
And New York is going to end up with the ball here.
So now they can kill this beater power play, which is huge.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, so in the Toronto game, we saw an overextension from the Toronto Beaters that allowed, with a beater foul, the Soldados to score. We'll see what Kansas City does. But they should go after the ball here and be able to high press it. Obviously, they can't let the Titans get in behind that.
Yeah, I think this Kansas City team is more physical and more disciplined, and won't let that happen.
And here's the high press from the beater.
Yep, but they just keep control, which is fine. Now, are they going to do a high press here on Jeff Ebner to try to force a no-bludger where they can press?
So expect Kansas City to trade beats here with Ebner and then use the next bludger to attack it, looking to make a play on that first pass, not on the first ball carrier.
McAndrews wants a slow balling call. He is behind his beater, which is not a legal way to delay the game.
And the ball, there is going to be a trade there, and now they're going to come after. The ball got whipped around, though. And
great beat.
Good beat there to save the goal.
Oh, that's not a legal tackle.
Yeah, that was...
Wait, no. Janice, come back.
There's going to be a look. There's going to be a look from... They're going to be talking about contact from behind here on Molly Potter by the Kansas City keeper.
Yeah, she never had possession of the ball. You can't tackle a player not in possession of the ball.
It should be Potter's ball, New York ball, behind the hoops with a chance to score. And she can move all across that line, correct?
Only on an advantage call. If that call was not called as an advantage call, she has to stay where she is.
So it is going to be a yellow card on keeper Devin Lee. It's going to be his first.
Aaron Stout. Devin Lee is a New York Fire, but that's all right.
Aaron Stout.
So I guess they do call it an advantage call. They will let her reposition on the line.
And New York might get a goal at the end of this whole. And a nice little shot there, quick shot from Molly Potter. And New York is able to get a goal out of the beater power play that they had a beater out on.
Yeah, Riley Andrews went for the beat there. I think you just have to try to hit the quaffle in midair. I think that's your only hope.
I think you're right about that. Rachel Heald taking the ball up now for Kansas City. Scores 80-30. Definitely still in this game. That was a big play, though.
Yeah.
By big play and a big tackle there.
Huge position all around.
Heald drives, dishes behind the hoops. Cute little play there from Tyler Walker to hit the ball back to his players. Good defense from New York.
Brent Sayer's got to finish that, I think.
Yeah.
Heald did everything right. Drew over to the lane, drew the beater, hit her with a pass.
Yeah. Brent Sayers definitely has to finish that.
Riley Andrews getting the better Tyler Walker there.
And a good tackle there.
Oh, a big misbeat there. And Tyler Walker's going to beat Riley Andrews with that ball, which means bludger control. So now New York
something
can just back TC in.
Yeah, something New York hasn't had for a while in this game.
Maybe because they've had one beater for a while. Oh, great tackle there by Stout.
Ball still finds its way out.
And nobody covering the passing options.
And that's not going to be good. An opportunity there to really put some separation between the two teams. New York unable to capitalize.
I think a well-timed timeout here by Kansas City. They're getting a little sloppy, but they're
still in the game.
Yeah, and they shouldn't learn the wrong lessons from that last play, right? I mean,
Right.
Rachel Hill in the lane is the only way that Kansas City has created opportunities in this game. They need to go back to more of that. I don't think she's sat out yet in this game. So obviously you need to manage her energy levels, but hopefully this timeout can do some of that for her. But her in the lane is what's creating the most mismatches. And so far, Molly Potter and Lindsay Morello have not been able to play good enough defense on her.
And Kansas City has also had ball control for most of the game. They've maintained dominance very well. There are positives and there's ways for them to come back in this game. New York, on the other hand, you've seen some of the best offensive possessions in a mixed gender beater set when they're able to play Hagag, Morella,
Crawford and Yada.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen Jackson come back in the game yet, but I think he should be fine. And he's been their best defender so far.
Yeah, I mean, ideally New York wants to be able to do what San Antonio did, right? They want to be able to go to their third line here, but with this level of separation, they really can't yet. If Kansas City gets a goal here, they probably have to go bring right back in their top line again, get a few more goals, and get out of range here. KC, of course, to go along with their low offensive scoring, also has the lowest rate of snitch catches in the tournament. They only have 2 in their 12 games.
And on the restart here, New York's going to have possession control. And it's going to be Adam Hill with the ball.
Flashing coming back in for Andrews. I thought Andrews had a pretty good game so far. Woolsey's now the keeper?
Yep, they're flanking on the right side.
Sure, it's Ryan Dickey who's now the keeper.
We've got a swat there. Back out to Barnstetter. A nice play there from 77.
KC just needs a little bit more from Barnstetter right now.
Yeah.
She is the kind of hole in the defense right now, but she's not making the most of it.
And she's been open offensively and hasn't been able to finish. Brandstetter.
Another SWAT called against New York there.
Yeah, the SWAT did go out of bounds. But there was and there's nobody back here for KC. He's going to look to, New York's going to look to run. He's going to take off here. He's flanked the entire way. Oh, he fumbles the ball, drops it, and KC's going to be able to jump on that one. That was an unforced error.
Yeah, and that's kind of in the story of the second line, right? I think New York really has to get out of this line at this point.
He doesn't have the ball.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm pretty sure both New York beaters got beat and neither one played the beat. So that was unfortunate.
Big miss beat there is going to leave a lane.
And that's a late tackle long after being beat. That's got to be no call.
The beater's able to get back in the play.
Yeah. Yeah, Kansas City is asking for and deserves a call at this point. Garfinkel is able to finish that tackle long after he was beat. The score's still 80-30 though. As much as we seem like we're talking about Kansas City really struggling, New York hasn't scored like at all for nearly probably 5 minutes, I would say. Mm-hmm. They had that one goal when they were down a beater, and that's been about it.
Yeah, the overextension has been a little evident in these when one beater from the other team goes off. You really want to force a pass and make the attack on that first pass.
Garfinkel coming out, I think he's injured, but we'll see if there's any call on top of that. I saw Garfinkel come up a little lame on his ankle a few plays ago and probably re-injured that on the tackle. So Crawford came in as his injury sub, and I think he's going to go immediately to the box with a blue card, which means New York's going to be playing down 2 chasers.
And as we've said, this should be an easy goal here for Kansas City.
Should be. I don't assume anything. As Billy Qua is now in at keeper, famous for his Quidditch highlight videos, and also for being friends with Pat Mahomes. Or at least Twitter friends with Pat Mahomes.
And it looks like Casey's beater is going to go with them. Now, the Titans actually don't have control of the bludger right now. This should be a fast and quick attack from Casey. They do. That's exactly what they do. Molly Potter not able to stop the drive from Brad Bezo, who's able to finish that, and it's 8-4. Yeah, we've got a game.
We do. Especially if they can make one more stop here up at Quaffle player and get one more goal.
And the score is going to bring Parada back into the game. Fernandez is going to sub out for Hagag. We're going to see the front line here for New York.
Yeah, like I said, if they scored another goal, New York had no choice. They had to go back to their first line.
And this is going to be their best line. It has been their
great
best line.
beat there by McClatchin, though.
And it's going to be swung out to Hagag, who's going to have some space here.
But McClatchin's going to come back into the play there. Sorry, McClanahan.
Morello cornered a bit. McClanahan misses the beat.
That's a bad misbeat.
Got to make that tap beat. And now it's a bad turnover here from New York. Quad's going to be able to get the ball back to Heald. Good beat, decent beating play from KC, but New York needs to not turn the ball over in the middle of the field there.
New York back to full strength, but KC is doing what they wanted to do, right? We know they don't score many goals. They only have 4 at the 16-minute mark, but New York only has 8, and that's what they need to do. They catch a snitch here, and we're tied.
And Heald's going to get in the lane. She's going to dish a little early, and but Bradstetter is going to be unable to handle it.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Bradstetter just hasn't been up to the task of being the hole in this New York defense.
Yep. And Hagag on the breakaway is going to look to dish to Parada, who's going to dish to Crawford, who's going to put it in. This has been their best line.
I think it's important to note, while we have been somewhat critical of Bradstetter at times, Kansas City has 2 female players on their team right now, period. So Heald and Bradstetter have to play every minute as chasers in a 2-male beater set, which is why Kansas City is built the way they are at the moment.
There's a lot to write down.
And the goal's going to be good. It's going to be 9 for New York. And
Blue card on the play. Blue cards don't stack, so it doesn't really make a big difference in the swing of things. Bezo with the ball.
Tyler Walker looking to cause some havoc.
Almost caused some havoc. Taylor Crawford, his teammate there.
And let's see if Kansas City looks to change the point of attack with Crawford back at point defense.
Hagag is now covering Heald, so Qua has the matchup with Morello. Let's see if they can exploit that.
And there's a give and go there on the pick.
Brandstetter
with the catch. And that's going to be net contact.
No doubt about that one. There's no advantage here. This call should really be made.
We had a miss. Some beater action there afterwards. There was a misbeat from KC, which caused the bludger control turnover.
Right. So if this is called, it will be a yellow card. It'll be KC ball. She'll get to position herself in a position that should mean an automatic goal. An automatic goal here makes it a 40-point game again.
So
17-13 is the time.
We'll see what they officially make the call. It is a yellow card for 9 Parada for net contact, and Bradsetter's gonna get to position herself.
So anywhere on the keeper's own line is her choice. She also could have taken the spot where she was tackled, which actually might have been best. I don't know how close to that spot Hagag currently is. I would have liked a little bit more of a charge there.
Yeah, there should have been some aggression there.
Though we saw Pitts try that aggression off a similar start to no avail.
Yeah. And they're going to let Heald get back into play here. New York is going to have bludger control, so we'll see what Casey's able to do. They're going to pass out to Qua on the left flank. He's going to look for some space. He's going to have some space. Bradsetter's wide open. The misbeat comes. She gets wrapped up by Hagag. New York is really making Bradstetter beat them.
Yeah, it's a good strategy because she hasn't been able to so far. Because there, I think she could have gotten a shot off a little earlier. She basically ran into Hagag's arms. So New York, who have just had a plethora of yellow cards in this game, keeps staving off the penalties, but it also has slowed their offensive output, which is why it's only a 50-point game.
And Casey's going to have a chance to get in this game.
Yeah, we're at 18-12, so just a couple more possessions here before the snitch, and Casey catches, we got ourselves a ball game.
And New York back to full strength now. They're able to successfully kill the penalty.
Devin Lee back in the game along with Rachel L. Silver in the beater game.
And Yaw's going to take up the left side. Pass back to Gog. He's going to look to take on Kwa. Some nifty moves there, but Kwa, good point defense, gets beat out. A little more space. Crawford is going to be wide open. He's going to put it through. The step wasn't fast enough from KC there.
They're going to call beat before. I thought he did a great job adjusting around that block. I thought the beat got there late, but ref's call, so it stays a 50-point game.
Beater play really saved them there. That chaser on the far side has to step harder and faster and either play the ball or play the man, but you have to meet them right as they catch it. Now 13 Adam Heald with the ball again.
Yeah, Heald's been out for a long time. I don't know if he went down with a knock or something.
And Hagag is going to keep marking Rachel Heald.
Yep. Which means Qua's the matchup you want to attack. They try there, but he can't handle it. I think he's got the agility to get by Morella here.
On a night,
I'd be proven wrong. She pushes him right over the out of bounds.
Really nice defensive play there from Morella. Moves her feet really quickly, able to stay with Qua and push him out of bounds. Now she's going to take off. Yep. She's looking for Crawford. Crawford's going to look on the no bludgers drive. Can he get there? He's able to spin away from the tackle. Got to make that tackle.
Yep.
You got to make that tackle.
The first tackle had to be made. After that, it was tough because if you made a tackle, you're just going to elevate and score. So 140, that's a big goal for New York. Kansas City's going to be able to hold for the last possession of the first half of the game here before the 20-minute mark.
And the swing in this game now has come on 2 tackles, right? Morella able to make the tackle on Qual. Heald unable to make the tackle on Crawford. Game slipping away from KC a little bit.
Yeah, they need a goal here on this last possession before the 20-minute mark.
And now again, high win around the edge on Morella. That's going to be a good matchup for them. Going to pass to Bradstetter, who's going to be marked by Parada. A nice little play there from Devin Lee to pop the ball up.
A cute play there, and I think it might have made a difference because that pass had some venom in it. Possession means that it will be the 20-minute timeout. 100-40, which means we will have a set score of 170.
So again, a tall hill to climb here.
Yeah.
For Kansas City. But you've talked about that they're good defensively. They've had to keep it low. I think New York's done a really nice job offensively this game against Kansas City.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
And so look for Kansas City.
170.
I thought the game was over.
I think Kansas City is going to play the snitch here. It's going to be Yeah, I think they're going to play the snitch here. If they're able to catch, it's going to bring them within a couple of goals.
Yeah.
And make this a game again.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have kind of the physicality advantages that like Toronto might have had last game if they kept the beaters in the game. I mean, getting past Taylor Crawford's not going to be easy in no budget situations whatsoever. So just a reminder of the stakes of this game, the winner will go into a game against the San Antonio Soldados, and it'll just be for seeding. Both teams will be in the quarterfinals. Winner will get the 4 seed, the loser will get the 6 seed. The loser will have to now go through and win 2 games in the loser's bracket if they want to get one of the last 2 spots into the quarterfinals. It's a tough road to walk. Their first one will likely be against the Minneapolis Voyagers. Sorry, the Minneapolis Monarchs, and then a second game to be decided based on the losers of our matchup between Rochester and Washington. So just a reminder on the set score. Set score is 170, which means first team to hit 170 points wins. Snitch will be released 10 seconds after this break. Catch is worth 45 points, but doesn't end the game. It just gets you as a means to the end of getting to that set score. So Kansas City's out there just waiting. Even though they're the team who probably needs more rest, as we mentioned, they only have 2 female players this weekend.
Yeah, that's gonna be their biggest problem this weekend for sure.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, this KC team came out here with a lot of doubters. They were, like we said, they're the worst offensive team coming into the tournament, the worst snitch catching team coming into the tournament. They immediately score a win over Detroit. I mean, that's a pretty big victory for this team, given a short roster to begin with. And they've still got life. They'll take on, like I said, a Monarchs team if they lose this game. That's definitely a winnable game for them. We already saw 1 4 seed take down the Monarchs in Washington. I think we're about ready to get started here again. New York in possession, up 100-40. And our seekers, that'll be going on in 10 seconds, Ben Fernandez from New York and Austin Pitts from Kansas City.
And Casey's going to have ball control here. And, yeah, we'll see. I think we'll see New York look to run.
Yeah, I think if KC dedicates, which they're going to have to, their beaters to seeker game, it could get ugly in the Quaffle game pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think New York has a pretty big edge there, and like you said, with Taylor Crawford so good defensively, it's going to be hard for Kansas City to do much.
John Jackson is back on the sideline, taped up, so he looks like he could sub for Hagag is currently the keeper.
Yeah, and that would be big for them too, because Jackson's going to be one of the guys that they're going to look to
make the big hits.
Yeah, and not only make the big hits, but get around players and put his hand through the hoop. Ooh, and number 12 for New York just got that's Rachel Ayala Silver just got a taunting penalty right at the start of seeking play, right at the start of seekers. That's going to be big.
Yeah. Because it's going to be a Quaffle turnover. Yeah, it could easily be a quick goal for Kansas City here.
Yeah. And it's going to give Pitts some time. You would imagine it'd give Pitts a lot of time with the snitch.
Well, I mean, if Hill just scores here right away, IL Silver will be right back in the game.
Sun's hitting the computer? Yes.
So now High's going to have the ball. He's going to look to attack. He doesn't. And do you try and score here if you're KC?
Well, you don't do that. That's
you
for sure.
don't turn the ball over like they just did. Taylor Crawford in possession.
Aaron, you're keeping time for a race.
First red one.
So Crawford's going to have the ball here. He's going to look to kill a penalty. And in comes Molly Potter and Hazlitt at keeper.
Ryan Hazlitt, his first appearance in this game. A bit of a rough season for him. One of those players definitely not advantaged by the two-arm tackling change, as he was more of a driving keeper. But obviously these are situations you want a driving keeper.
And Morel's going to have the ball up top. And Pitts is going to have time with the snitch here. Heald looking to post up Hazlitt. Across the field pass is a turnover.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Really sloppy season from Hazlitt.
So High Win.
Harry, we're just seeing the snitch play.
So High Win is coming down. He's a nice block there from Hazlitt.
Oh wait, yeah.
Unable to convert. High Win on the breakaway there. Beaters are being dedicated to the seeking game, so it's going to be a lot of opportunities here for New York and KC to run around and have some physical advantages. Heald marking Hazlitt again. Now High Win takes his turn.
Yeah, they're triple teaming him and daring him to pass.
Yeah. Passing off to Taylor Crawford, who's behind the hoops now. He's going to find one open.
Yeah. Great game from Crawford continues. He hits the mid-range shot to make it 110-40.
Now lots of time on the snitch here for KC. They're unable to do anything with it. It's going to be Fernandez again for New York, taking on snitch Tad Walters.
Fernandez getting close here on Walters.
Now Morello trying to chase down High Win, trying to make a tackle, able to wrap him up, and then And Wynn makes a nice basketball pass to Hield, who's able to go pick the ball up at the highest point over Potter's head and stuff it through.
Yeah, Potter was face guarding her, and we all know when you face guard someone way taller than you throw a high pass, there's not much you can do about it.
Morella does not see the ball on the little shovel over to
He
Hazard.
tries the pressure, can't get there quite.
She's able to spin around him, now taking on Wynn.
Oh, good point by Wynn.
Now Wynn knocks the ball away from her, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to be...
KC ball.
Yeah, it's going to be...
ball.
Oh, it's going to be called off KC, New York ball.
Whoa, no. What?
And now there's a stoppage in play before the goal.
I think it was after the goal, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, be ready to go.
Snitch picks up a little bit of a knock.
Tad, you need sub?
And Mo Hagag is going to be in it seeking for New York. We've also had a seeker change from Kansas City.
Yeah, Woolsey in there. Obviously, got to watch out for the snitch's safety. Make sure that whatever caused his small knock there was legal.
Ref's still figuring it out here.
Goal's good.
And we are going to 170 here. That's going to be our set score.
Em wants to know the score.
On the restart, Casey with the ball, looking to drive. He was going to move around Lee, but Lee's going to have stripped it, and a wide open Rachel Hield.
Hield to Hield. Say they've been making that connection for quite a few years.
Beater play getting a little frenetic in front of the snitch here.
I kind of like what Kansas City's been doing in the Quaffle game, though, since Snitch on pitch came. They've been a little more physical, a little cleaner. They can just catch Snitch here. Things get interesting.
Yep, and Hield's going to take on, so this is what they're looking to do here with Morella as the ball carrier. And Lee's going to be able to put it through.
Now, Lee making his first appearance there, getting a goal.
Now Casey's putting Hield up. Casey's putting Adam Hield up top to pick up the ball carrier, and they're looking to have Morella take the ball up and just find one pass and able to find a better matchup.
Yeah, it's good strategy here from New York, because obviously Kansas City is limited in their options. They have to play their two female chasers.
We've got a drive here from KC. Nice and easy. A little goal.
But KC really just needs to make the snitch grab because it's 130-70. It still could be a game if they catch.
Yep. And if New York continues to do that, have Morella come up top, then they're going to have to change point defenders. Now, it looks like Hield has subbed out.
So Aaron Stout's in now at keeper, and he's still going to be playing point alongside Ian McCabe. Oh,
now
and
we've
it's
got
turnover.
a turnover here from a good, nice turn beat. And this should be an easy goal for Ian McCabe. Yeah, nice little turn beat there from KC.
And that's what we were talking about. The kind of the evolution in the beater game is that you need to play the quaffle game just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And there's a
That's
catch.
a catch.
It looks like
This
a
is
clean
this is
catch.
a one-point game.
It looked like a clean catch there from KC. But
New York's got troubles right here.
the snitch
Casey
Walters
gets it.
wants to talk about it. Looks like he's saying he was restricted, and that's why he wasn't able to get his arm up. But the catch itself looked clean. I didn't see if there. Wasn't looking up top to see if there was restriction.
Morlock doesn't see, the snitch ref doesn't seem that convinced by Walter's account, so they're definitely talking it out. It's obviously a huge call here because a good goal makes it 130-125.
And we are, and the Titans have put Jackson back on the pitch, so he's okay, and he's going to look to make a big difference here in this game. It looked like a clean catch to me. And the seeker here pleading his own case.
Yeah, Riley Andrews really wants to get involved in this conversation. big decision for the head ref to make because it seems like he's definitely getting two different opinions from his snitch ref and his snitch. Because if they were the same opinion, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
So. Okay.
So they do call it off because the snitch did say that he was impeded, and they're still having the conversation. But now it's over. You got to get back to playing the game.
But meanwhile, I mean, what that shows is that New York has let KC slip their way back into this game.
They've never really put them away, have
they? Right. The fact that a snitch gap would have made it a 1-point game shows that they've actually been better in the quaffle game since we got back. They've made those little adjustments. I love what we saw with the beaters before getting in the quaffle game.
I got it.
And now Crawford back behind the hoops.
Gets by
McCabe. Able to put a nice little head fake and put it through. No, they're calling no
shot.
goal.
He definitely missed that shot.
They're calling it off.
And
it is going to be Titans' ball.
And Andrew's coming at Walters here unmarked.
And Fernandez now slips in there.
Stout with the ball now. He's going to look for Heald. Long pass. Morella right there. Nice tackle from Lindsey Morella. Heald looking for options. We have a stoppage of play here. Did you see anything?
I think she was trying to take her time out, which I think they used already. I can't tell. I thought I saw the little T.
We're going to get a call here. It looks like it's going to be Heald's ball.
I guess they might be calling Morella on a... No, she's still up there, too. I'm not sure what the call is.
I'm not sure what the stoppage of play was for either. It looked like this is a good opportunity for Heald now, who's going to have a chance to pass this back if she's able to.
Yeah, because it's only Jackson against two defenders. What I'd like to see here is McCabe getting Jackson's way and a pass over to Stout.
I'd like to, or what the other way you could clear it is McCabe could come across Jackson's face and set what's basically a pick.
Exactly.
Right.
I agree. That's what I would like to see.
Oh, that's what you said, wasn't it?
It's okay.
Sometimes when you talk, I just hear mwah, mwah. It's very Charlie Brown. Mwah, 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 mwah.
I'm the old teachers.
And then we'll probably run through the chaser line once where you win, or chaser line once, and by that time.
So the head ref is giving a blue card to the seeker. That's what the stoppage of play was for.
So that's a nice big advantage for New York here, because a catch for them ends this game immediately.
Yeah, we're playing 17. Snitch worth 45. New York's able to get the ball here.
A huge play there by Jeff Ebner to get budget control back. But then he threw a ball off pitch. So that's going to be a card on New York. It's going to be a quaffle turnover again.
It's a sloppy play.
Yeah,
And
just
nice,
inexcusable.
Yep.
After a really nice play by him,
Yeah,
too.
really nice play. Again, New York's not been able to quite put away KC. KC's still got some opportunities in this game to turn
they
around.
score here, which they should, and they catch. Though obviously they can't because they don't have a seeker right now, and it's a tie game.
Right.
And a tie game at 26 minutes is not what New York wanted before their game against San Antonio.
And they quickly went up 4-0. And have really
They didn't turn over the quaffle, but I'm not sure.
And a miss beat up top is going to give Crawford some space. A pick here from Morella going to give Jackson some space. Now a nice little roll by Crawford.
nice little offensive play there for the Titans.
Yep. Titans seem to operate better when they only have one beater. I don't know what that says about their offense, but they've got what 2 of their 14 goals.
Crawford's beat misses the Casey seeker here, and is going to give Casey some time on the snitch. And hands are getting close. Meanwhile, the ball is up top. Heald's got it. Potter's trying to contain.
Also, Austin Pitts is beating.
Heald, with that dish,
hits the mid-range shot.
Able to get into. You've been talking about it all game. When she's able to get in the lane and create, then things can happen.
Yep.
Now Hagag on the snitch for the Titans. Jackson taking the ball up for the Titans. Crawford flanking him. Oh, a nice little spin move from Jackson. The defender doesn't get back into play. Just a new one comes through. We've got a stoppage in play.
It's going to be before Jackson's goal. But where he's going to get the ball back probably is going to be a pretty free goal anyway.
And he's going to get the ball back right in front of the hoops.
Yeah,
And this should go through.
Yeah. So at some point, Kansas City has to stop thinking about this secret game
Right.
because with this goal, New York will be just 2 goals away from winning.
And he's able to find a route to goal there. And yeah,
You bring your beaters back in the quaffle game, and New York probably has to follow suit. So then you can still catch, but you can't keep keeping your beaters in the beater game and letting this game end.
and off broom there from 7, gonna give Tyler Crawford free reign here.
How
A
many
nice-
times has Kansas City tried to drive through Taylor Crawford this game?
Yeah, and it's never worked out.
Nope.
The broom popped out. It was a free goal.
So that means 1 more goal. So New York's just going to switch into the quaffle game.
Casey's gonna swing this out to McCabe. Morello on the defense.
Rance there should be able to finish this. No, it's
And-
another great defensive play by Jackson at the
Yeah,
hoops.
He's been great at the hoops.
Yep.
And now Jackson should be talking to his beaters. He's just gonna throw it forward to Crawford. I'm
Yeah.
not so sure about that play.
It's a no-budget situation, though. He's
The
going to
beaters
score
should-
this, no problem.
Yeah, the beaters should be able to clear this out, and that's going to end the game.
A nice win here, a little bit harder than maybe we expected, but a nice win here from New York.
I mean, it's scary for New York, right? Because Kansas City couldn't give best effort, right? They only had 2 female players. Their beaters were so tired by the end that Austin Pitts had to do
Right.
some beating. I mean, and for them to keep it that close, I mean, that catch is good, and both teams are going to shift their beaters back into the game, and we're almost at level pegging.
Yep. It definitely wasn't the performance that New York was looking for. There were there's some really bright moments though.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're gonna have to step it up though if they want to compete with the San Antonio team, who looked very clean in their
Very
first game.
good, very crisp.
So that'll do it for us here. We're gonna grab somebody for an interview real fast. If you want to talk a little bit, I'll see if I can grab somebody, or we'll cut it off. We'll be right back.